I never thought I'd be that guy, the guy who forgives cheating. I used to judge men who stayed with women who betrayed them. I used to think it showed weakness. I used to think it meant they had no self-respect. But when it happened to me, I realized it's never that simple. Let me take you back to the beginning. Her name was Rachel. We met at a friend's wedding 3 years ago. I was the best man. She was the maid of honor. She walked down the aisle in a burgundy dress, smiling shyly at the crowd. When our eyes met, it was like a magnet pulling us together. That night, we danced, we laughed, we talked until sunrise. It felt like we'd known each other forever. We started dating soon after. Rachel was everything I thought I wanted. She was beautiful in a natural, effortless way. Wavy hair, soft eyes, the kind of smile that made you forget your worries. But more than that, she was smart, driven, kind. She volunteered at an animal shelter. She mentored kids. She prayed before meals. I thought, I've hit the jackpot. Within a year, I proposed. It was a simple proposal at the park where we had our first date. She cried, said yes, and wrapped her arms around me like she never wanted to let go. I thought that was the happiest day of my life. We started planning the wedding. Rachel dove into the details. Flowers, dresses, photographers. I was in charge of booking the venue and catering. We were a team, or so I thought. But 3 months before the wedding, I noticed something change. Rachel started pulling away. At first, it was subtle, a little more distant, a little more tired. She'd stay late at wedding planning meetings with her sister. She was on her phone more, quickly turning the screen away when I got close. I asked if everything was okay. She brushed it off. Just stressed, she'd say. So many things to do. But my gut told me something was off. One night, around midnight, I woke up and realized Rachel wasn't in bed. I found her in the living room, whispering on the phone. When she saw me, she hung up quickly. "Just talking to Emily," she said, referring to her sister. I wanted to believe her, but something felt wrong. The next morning, I couldn't shake the feeling. I asked her again, "Rachel, is there something you're not telling me?" She rolled her eyes. "Why are you being paranoid? You know I'd never cheat on you." Those words were supposed to reassure me, but they didn't. A week later, my fears were confirmed. Rachel left her phone unlocked on the kitchen counter while she showered. A message popped up from someone saved as M. It read, "Last night was amazing, face blowing a kiss. Can't wait for round 2. My hands trembled. I opened the conversation. My heart sank. There were weeks of messages, photos, inside jokes, plans to meet. I felt like the floor had been ripped from under me. When Rachel walked into the kitchen, wrapped in a towel, I was standing there holding her phone. She froze. "What were you doing?" she asked cautiously. I showed her the screen. "Who is M?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Her face went pale. She sat down. It's no one. It didn't mean anything. Please." I cut her off. "Did you sleep with him?" Silence. Then a quiet, broken yes. That one word shattered me. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I messed up. I don't know why I did it. It was stupid. It was just a mistake." I couldn't look at her. I grabbed my keys and left. I drove aimlessly for hours, finally crashing at my friend's place. I didn't answer her calls or texts. For the next few days, she kept reaching out. She left voicemails, sent emails, even showed up at my friend's house begging me to talk. At first, I ignored her. My pride, my anger wouldn't let me respond. But late one night, she sent me a message that broke through. "Please don't throw us away without at least talking to me. Please." Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop. She looked different, hollow, exhausted, eyes swollen from crying. She slid a letter across the table. "I wrote everything down," she said. The letter was 5 pages long. She admitted everything. She said the affair lasted a month, that it started at work, with a co-worker who flattered her, made her feel seen, while she felt overwhelmed by wedding stress. She said she hated herself for it. She ended it 2 weeks ago. "I don't expect you to forgive me," she said quietly. "I just needed you to know the truth." I didn't know what to say. I still loved her, but I hated what she'd done. She offered to cancel the wedding. "I don't deserve you," she said, "but I want to earn back your trust, if you'll let me." I left that coffee shop confused, torn between love and betrayal. Over the next few weeks, we had long, painful conversations. I asked every question. I demanded honesty. We went to couples therapy. We postponed the wedding. My friends called me a fool. My parents begged me to walk away. But I saw something in Rachel, a genuine remorse, a willingness to change, a woman fighting for us, even if she didn't deserve it. Slowly, painfully, we rebuilt trust. She gave me full access to her phone, her passwords. She cut off contact with the guy. She went to therapy alone. A year later, I stood across from her at the altar, and I married her. It wasn't a perfect wedding. It wasn't a fairy tale I dreamed of, but it was honest, real, hard-earned. We've been married 3 years now. Have there been moments I doubted? Yes. Do I still think about what happened? Sometimes. But Rachel has never given me a reason to doubt again. Forgiveness is messy. Healing is not linear. But I'm glad I stayed. Because sometimes people really can change. And sometimes love is worth fighting for. Everyone always asks me, "So, do you regret marrying her?" And honestly, it's complicated. Let me tell you what happened after I do. I wish I could say that after our wedding, things were perfect. That Rachel's betrayal faded into the past, and we lived happily ever after. But real life doesn't work like that. The first year of marriage was harder than I expected. Even though she hadn't cheated again, the ghost of the affair was still in the room. Sometimes she'd come home late from work, and my stomach would twist into knots. Rationally, I knew she was just working overtime. But emotionally, I feared the worst. Sometimes she'd get a text and glance at it quickly, and my mind would spiral. Is it him? Is she hiding something? Rachel noticed. "I see it in your eyes," she told me one night. "You're waiting for me to mess up again." She wasn't wrong. I wanted to trust her fully. But trust is like glass. Even when it's glued back together, the cracks remain. We kept going to counseling. We kept working. But it wasn't easy. Then came the pregnancy. A year and a half into our marriage, Rachel told me she was pregnant. Her eyes filled with tears, not just joy, but fear. "Do you believe it's yours?" she asked softly. That question broke me. The fact that she even had to ask showed how deep the wound still ran. I hugged her tight. "Yes," I whispered. "I believe you." And in that moment, I realized I had to choose trust. Every day, the pregnancy brought us closer. I saw her light up with excitement, picking out baby names, folding tiny onesies. I watched her fight morning sickness, read parenting books, talked to our baby bump at night. And when our daughter Emma was born, something shifted in me. Holding that tiny life in my arms, I felt a surge of love I had never known. Rachel watched me rock Emma to sleep and whispered, "Thank you for staying." But even parenthood wasn't a magic fix. We still had triggers. Anniversaries of the affair. Certain places in town reminded me of what she did. Songs that used to be theirs that I'd accidentally hear on the radio. Sometimes I wondered, would I ever fully move on? Then came a big test. Rachel got a promotion at work. With it came travel, overnight business trips. The first time she packed a suitcase, I felt a pit in my stomach. "You're nervous, aren't you?" she asked. I nodded. "I want to trust you. But you know..." She sat down beside me. "You have every reason to doubt. But I'm not that woman anymore." She handed me her itinerary, her hotel details, even gave me permission to FaceTime anytime. She wasn't offensive. She wasn't hiding. She was transparent. That mattered. And over time, I noticed something beautiful. The doubts faded. Slowly, the triggers lost their power. Not because I forgot, but because Rachel kept showing up every day, proving she'd changed. I'd be lying if I said it was easy. Healing from betrayal is a marathon, not a sprint. But Rachel became a different woman, a more honest, humble, and faithful partner than I ever imagined. She joined a women's accountability group at church. She started mentoring younger wives. She spoke openly about her mistakes. She even shared her testimony at a marriage retreat, publicly owning her past. I watched her grow into someone I respected deeply. One day, about 4 years into our marriage, we were walking in the park, where I had once proposed. I squeezed her hand. "You know what?" I said, "I don't regret marrying you." She stopped and looked at me, surprised. "I know what you did hurt me," I continued, "but it also forced us to build something deeper, more honest, and I'm grateful for the woman you've become." Rachel's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you for believing in me when I didn't deserve it." And in that moment, I realized sometimes the best love stories aren't the perfect ones. They're the messy, redeemed ones. Today, we've been married 6 years. We have 2 kids. We're not flawless. We're still learning. But we're stronger than I ever imagined we could be. So when people ask, "Do you regret marrying her after what she did?" I tell them, no, because forgiveness gave me the wife I was always meant to have. If you're wrestling with forgiveness, betrayal, or rebuilding trust, I hope my story encourages you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more honest life stories.